Welcome to Southaven Business Beat. Business and community leaders talk with us to provide invaluable resources to aid the business community. We would like to thank the following sponsor.
Hi, my name is Zach Davis, and I'm the director of a ministry called Unstoppable Media. Now, you might be saying, ministry and media, what does that mean? Well, our mission is to inspire people to Christ through songs and stories of hope. Well, here at Unstoppable Media, we want to help people stir up their expectation in God again. Believers to hook on to hope, the hope that is in Christ and the fact that eternal salvation is ours in Him. And one day I have good news for you. One day Jesus Himself will come back on a white horse and He's going to set everything right and He's going to make all things new. Would you join us on our mission of hope?
For more information on how you can support Unstoppable Media, please visit their website at unstoppablegmr.org.
And now here's your host, Aaron Cozort.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Southaven Business Beat. We are enjoying Season 2, and we're looking forward to today's interview. Today, we have with us some individuals from Bott Radio Network. We have Rene Hall, who is the Community Relations Manager. We also have Becky Gallagher, who is the Audio and Digital Sales Specialist. Good to have you with us today.
Thank you.
So, Rene, I'm going to start with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
A little bit about myself and my background. Okay, well, it's funny. I've actually kind of come full circle. My mother owned our local television station and did a morning ladies talk show, and always said, no, I don't want to be a part of that. But, I'm with the OGs now with radio, and just an interesting way that it came about. I was a Bott Radio fan. I knew the regional manager through, and one of our hosts through chamber events, and my husband was friends with them in a different area, and they called us in one day for an interview and said, I know you're still connected in DeSoto County, and I said, I want to know if you filled that position for community relations, and that was just kind of how I ended up here.
Awesome,
yeah.
Awesome. So, Becky, tell me a little bit about your background.
My background, I am from Arkansas, Razorback.
We won't hold it against you.
I know.
I've lived here, though, since I was in elementary school. Married my high school sweetheart. I live in Olive Branch, and I've been in radio since January 10th, 1985.
That's a long time to be in radio.
Yes, and I love every minute of it. Met our station manager through some connections, and just recently joined Bott Radio.
So for those who may not ever turn on the FM dial, tell us where Bott Radio's at on the FM dial in Memphis.
You can listen to us on the FM dial here in Mississippi at 100.7 FM. You can also pick us up on 93.7 FM, but one of my favorites is the 640 AM signal, because we have a 50,000 watt signal here, which makes us the largest signal in Christian talk radio, and that tower happens to be right here in DeSoto County. So we are reaching a lot just from DeSoto County for the kingdom of God.
It's always great when there's a hometown connection to broadcasting. Years ago, you stepped back in media, and there were a lot of these little broadcast stations that would talk about community-related things. And that's maybe lost a lot in the consolidation of the broadcast media, where, I was having a discussion with one of our Mississippi representatives from the Senate just recently, and he was up here speaking at a chamber event at the luncheon, and we were talking afterwards, and he said, you all probably don't really get much news from Jackson, do you? I said, no, pretty much everything we hear is from Memphis. And so, as you step back to think about it, one of the shifts that's happening in our culture and even in our communities is you're now starting to see people in the digital space and the online space picking up that mantle of talking about community things. But one of the things that highlights, your all's organization is you do have that presence in the community. You have that presence locally here in the region. So tell me a little bit about the mission of Bott.
Well, the mission of Bott Radio is actually to get the Word of God into the people of God, and that's not just our catchphrase. We're also Bott Radio for your life. So we have programming with just uplifting, encouraging. I always say it's the most uplifting thing you're going to listen to today. Preachers and teachers, people that are well known, well respected. They really make sure they want to make sure that they have the people who have the most experience and that they can trust, because we know our listeners have come to know that they can trust Bott Radio and who we have on there. So we have that programming, but just to kind of speak to like the local programming, I'm always very proud of our local programming. We have got, even today where Amy Soropoulos is recording Stories Behind the Shield, which is local stories that are happening here in the Mid-South with the Salvation Army. We have our Byron Tyler. Byron has been at this from the beginning with the Bott since 1986, and we just did the math, actually 48 years in the industry, in the radio industry. And Byron also has received many awards, but he does Mid-South Viewpoint. So lots of interesting stories, and many of those do come from DeSoto County. We have our Pastors Forum, which features local pastors, preachers, and teachers, as well as our national ones, such as Focus on the Family, help you with that. One of the things I want to circle back to that I didn't mention is we do have our free mobile app, our online, and any kind of streaming device. You can actually make a little playlist, like say we just came through Veterans Day or Thanksgiving's coming up. You can type in Thanksgiving and it will bring up all the programs that have to do with Thanksgiving, or even things from paying for your Thanksgiving, handling family tensions, especially after the election, that may come up around the Thanksgiving table and Christmas holidays. And
so that would help people to realize, as a broadcaster, there are probably some dispositions of individuals, especially younger individuals, who are like, what's broadcasting? They're more attuned to things delivered through the internet. But what you all are demonstrating is that broadcasters are servicing that internet-based, that phone-based, that digital media-based listener and interacting with them in a completely different way than, say, standard terrestrial radio, where it's going in a linear fashion, where it's a more an on-demand opportunity for the people to listen to what they want to listen to when they want to listen to it.
We definitely have the on-demand opportunities, and that's how I prefer to listen. Sure. I love to catch things live, but I love to know I can go back and listen, or if I'm in the middle of the night and something's bothering me, whatever's keeping me up at night, I can go, and Bott Radio probably has a program that has addressed that.
And just the feature of pause. The ability to pause something and not miss what it was that was coming next is certainly something that is valuable. Talk to me just a few minutes about the footprint.
Sure. We reach into 8 stations. 8 stations, 8 states here from, like I said, our tower here in DeSoto County. Then we reach. I'm sorry. Could you tell me a little bit more exactly what you mean by the footprint? Are you asking me geography?
Okay. Yeah, the
right.
Geography of what the coverage area is.
Yeah, that's what I thought that
Sure.
you meant. 100.7, of course, that will reach us in Mississippi. We reach down to around Carthage, Mississippi,
Okay.
Starkville, that area. I lived right outside in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Okay.
So that's when the Bott Radio app became my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We're largely in the Mid-South. We have 125 stations.
Oh, wow, that's pretty big.
So we do cover a lot. I actually just got back from Springfield, Missouri, and realized everybody that I talked to knew about Bott Radio. So I'm taking that up as a challenge that I want to make sure that it's the same way here in DeSoto County.
Great. So, Becky, tell me a little bit about the listenership and the audience, and how you all specifically work with advertisers to reach an audience that Bott Radio has.
Mm-hmm. So my job is to connect our advertisers or sponsors with our listeners, and our listeners with our sponsors, because our listeners are very astute, and they have understand that without our advertisers, we might not be able to do what we do. So they are very intentional about supporting our advertisers. Our listeners are mostly 40 plus, 75% homeowners. So my job is to craft messaging so that our advertisers connect with our listeners and vice versa. Mm-hmm. In addition, one of the reasons I came on board is to help our advertisers with their online presence. We have a very large portfolio of digital products that we offer. one of my favorite foundational items is to help people with their listings online, because a lot of advertisers don't realize that their information is out there in a lot of different places.
Sure.
So one of the first things I like to do with people is to run a free snapshot report, and it shows them their health of their listings online. One client recently, I did a free snapshot report for her, and she was showing online that she was closed every day. So with a very economical solution, very quickly we straightened that out.
Absolutely.
So I love working with advertisers and helping them with their online presence and digital advertising and things like that. In fact, we just, speaking of local connections, we just interviewed in the station a Southaven Chamber member this morning, Kamika Wall with Design Your Wellness, and she'll be featured on a show here in the next week or two. And we just did a digital ad campaign for Trinity Baptist and the Affordable Christmas campaign. So we love just connecting our advertisers with our listeners.
That's awesome. Speaking of advertisers and listeners, we're going to take just a moment and cut to our sponsors. One of the things we love here at Southaven Business Beat is being able to highlight the people who make this show possible, but also the people who invest back into the community. So we're going to take just a moment. Don't go away. Here's a message from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Pure Focus Media exists to make high-quality media accessible to all businesses, regardless of their size or budget. We believe that every business deserves to have its story told with clarity and creativity, and we are here to bring that vision to life. Make your next event unforgettable with the Follow app. Connect instantly, stay organized, and never miss an opportunity. Ditch the business cards. Go digital with the Follow app. Network effectively, exchange contacts seamlessly, and grow your business. The Follow app, transforming the way professionals connect at events. Now back to Southaven Business Beat and host Aaron Cozort.
Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation with Bott Radio. We've got Becky and we've got Rene with us, and they are informing us all about this really massive opportunity that exists within the region here in the Mid-South, where people are able to connect their businesses to the people who are listening on FM, on AM, and even through digital apps and through other means of reaching out through web properties, I'm imagining as well. So tell me, Becky, just a little bit more about the value of Bott Radio to an advertiser, to a business, especially a local business.
So I've worked for a lot of different radio stations, a lot of different formats over the years. So with Bott Radio, our listeners are tuned in. They're listening to sermons and teaching and news stories and things. So they are very tuned in. So when you advertise with us, people hear your ads because they're not just searching.
It's not
for
in the background.
You're
Yes.
speaking
It's
to
not
their
just background
hearts.
listening.
You're really speaking to their hearts. You're helping them
Yes.
solve a problem.
Yes, and so they are tuned in. They're listening, and one of the things I learned when I first came in June, I've only been here since June, is our programming helps people be better fathers, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and so when people are listening to that kind of content, they have a much greater chance of hearing your ads because they are just focused. So they're not just searching for their favorite song.
Absolutely. So Rene, talk to me just a moment about the community relations side of this. You know, how do you all work to highlight some of the things going on in the community, and what are some of the things you're reaching out for in the community to be able to assist in the community?
Sure. Well, one of the things that we do is I look to partner with pastors and people in the faith community, different ministries, different nonprofits, as well as our business community. We love to be a good support and active in our business community. So when they have that special thing, like for example, the Trinity Church with their Affordable Christmas and their partnership with the Lander Center was great. We were able to go and sit up there and just help give people, the resources, give them a little information about Bott Radio. We have been honored and able to MC and speak at some events. I get a lot of ladies, not just the ladies' church groups, but I do get a lot of ladies' Bible studies, and that's always a huge honor. I've been able to connect people to speakers. Maybe they need a speaker for their event. We have retirement centers centers, nursing homes, that we've been able to provide a chaplain for them. That things that getting people to serve where they maybe don't have a budget for it, but we know somebody. We've got a guy for that or a girl for that.
Tell them about the ARC event in Senatobia.
Oh, that has been a lot of fun, and we've got one coming up this week at DeSoto County Schools. The ARC event, we were able to go in, the ARC Northwest. Rebecca Treadway there.
Yes,
so
great friend of the chamber.
Oh, yes, she's a great friend of the chamber, wonderful person as well, and a friend of ours. But they do it was like a job skills for their students, and they were able to come in and spend about 20 minutes with them. And one of the things we showed them is how they could use their voices, or showed them how they could edit, and they could have their choice of reading the news or sports. Weather. That was fun, and they did phenomenal. And then we showed them how we cut out dead space and how we go back in and add the music in, and they loved that. That was a lot of fun. I've been honored to be with one of your board members, Stacy Dodd, with Hope Center.
Yes.
He's had all of these youth leadership rallies, and they have been phenomenal. They've been so inspiring to me to get to be there and Bott support a part of that. MCing the Purple Purse Project with the House of Grace and partnering with them. Another thing I can do is if your event, you've got an event or anything that's like free to the public. So it's like the fall festivals, that is, the Southaven Christmas Parade with their Santa's Workshop after. I do a segment called Around Town. Okay. And I can put provided, that we have the space available, tell you the things that are going on in the community that way, as well as sharing things through our social media.
Sure.
We follow our sponsors and different ministries, and if they've got, maybe they're doing a musical production, we can share that and get that word out also.
So a great way to amplify a message or an event that's going on in the community.
But we're real life people out there with them, and you can come to me, and Becky and I both have had probably the biggest honor of all the things that we do is when somebody comes and says, "Hey, I got this going on. Could you just pray with me?" And that's a big honor that somebody will entrust you to talk about their problems like that.
Absolutely. One thing that I think is worth noting that is kind of a news item is we've found out that Rich Bott, who's connected to Bott Radio, is actually going to be inducted into the National Religious Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that is huge. Well, the National Religious Broadcasters is, I would say, it is everything. It is the Super Bowl of all things religious broadcasting, radio, podcasting, film. We got to preview all of these wonderful Christian movies that have come out, or family wholesome movies that have come out. But to be honored for Rich, not only does it honors the past of all that Bott Radio has done and how they've served, in all of these different markets. But it reinforces that commitment to the future to continue to be relevant, to continue to find new ways of reaching people. Using all of the streams or any new developing technology to the fullest benefit. So it's a tremendous honor. It's not something that he takes lightly. And what makes it really unique is that his father was inducted in 2008, right? Okay.
Right.
And so they will be the first father and son
that's some great history right there.
It is really phenomenal. So we're
when you see somebody in business, in broadcasting, have that type of legacy. It's really, it tells you that they care not just about the people listening, they care about the people advertising, they care about the community that's built around what they're doing. They're not just in it to, raise eyeballs and then, make dollars. They really care because they're in it for the long haul. They're in it for actually producing value all the way through the community. What have we not covered so far? What do you think if there was something you would say, I want to tell people about this with Bott Radio? What have we not said?
So as a radio person, I've been worked for a lot of radio stations and been through a lot of format changes. Mr. Bott started in 1962 with one station in Kansas. All of our nearly 130 radio stations all have Christian talk programming, and they've never wavered. They've all of that's been the programming from day one. for all of our stations.
And so again, that legacy of making a choice and serving an audience, serving people who are invested in listening to what is said. One of the things we remind people of, and just even here with Southaven Business Beat, is the power of the voice. When you are willing to talk to people and talk to them like they're real people and communicate to them with honor and with trust, it makes a difference because people do business with people they know. People prefer to do business with people who they know and trust. And so you, as Bott Radio, are a great avenue for doing that. And we greatly appreciate your involvement with the Chamber. We love the fact that you're not just out there saying, hey, we're all on our own, we don't need the Chamber, but you're also involved at the community level with the Chamber, with the leadership here, and the involvement that you have, especially supporting the great works that are going on throughout DeSoto County. We love that. So we're so glad that you all had a moment to stop in today and talk to us about Bott Radio, and we look forward to having you, our listeners, on the next episode as we continue talking about all of the great things going on here in DeSoto County. This has been Southaven Business Beat. I'm Aaron Cozort. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Southaven Business Beat. We would like to thank the following sponsor. Staying ahead in a world driven by technology is key. At Wisdom Integrators, we simplify tech solutions for your business. We specialize in customizing audio, video, and IT services tailored to your needs. At Wisdom Integrators, we don't just solve problems, we create opportunities. Wisdom Integrators, connecting your world, solving your problems. Would you like to be a sponsor of Southaven Business Beat? Please email us, info@southavenchamber.com. Be sure to share and subscribe for more business resources. Thanks for watching.